Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Sunday, February the 9th, talking about double big lineups. Celtics played the Knicks last night as we're recording this. Obviously, Jason Tatum, Peyton Pritchard stole the show a little bit. But Joe Mazzulla also rolled out some double big lineups that Brian Robin Mass Live wrote about. And Joe Mazzulla talked about after the game. Kristaps Porzingis was a late scratch. They were forced to improvise a little bit on the fly, rolled out Al Horford and Luke Kornet, and Luke Kornet was awesome in this game. And Mish Keda got some minutes. Xavier Tillman got some minutes. They ran as many bigs to get double big lineups as they possibly could in this game. After the game, Mazzulla said, "To me, it's more about just having different ways you can play, and so the season represents an opportunity for that, and we need to be able to be flexible to win the matchup at that particular time." And I thought tonight we just won the matchup for us versus New York's. New York's one of the most physical teams in the league, and they do a great job both ends of the class. So we were able to counteract that a little bit with our physicality. Credit the guys, especially defensively, et cetera, et cetera. So basically just talking about the double big lineups. Luke Kornet looked good in this game. Al Horford did his job. Nimish Keda, like they were really committed to going double big, and it clearly worked.
Celtics dominated this game. I mean, listen, we can look at the rebound stats all you want. The fact of the matter is the Knicks missed significantly more shots than the Celtics did. That would bring you to the, let's say they missed or they made 11 less shots. The Celtics out rebounded the Knicks by 14. So they did out rebound them on both sides of the glass. Like the offensive rebounds, Celtics had 4 more than the Knicks did. They out rebounded them by 14 on the defensive glass. Like they did they out rebounded them total by 18. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I was looking at defense only. They did a great job of just using their size. They blocked shots. Luke Kornet was excellent. Nemi had Cat in hell. Cat had no answer for Nemi. He was struggling down low. He couldn't get a shot off. The guy only took 8 shots the entire game. The guy who is having the best season of his career was terrified, just looked in shambles. The Celtics absolutely dominated them. Doris Burke could not get enough of the depth that Boston had at this position. And it's really good because you get to showcase Luke, Nemi on a national stage. This is what makes the Celtics great, is they have guys that they can put in there. Nemi was not, I wouldn't say a surprise, but it's like found money when he plays well. Like Luke is an expectation that he's going to go out there and be solid and give you great minutes, which he did. Double with 3 blocks and a start. Excellent work from him. Excellent work from Nemi. It really impacted the game really well.
Yeah, Luke Kornet was really good. I wasn't home for this game. I watched it while I was out, so I couldn't record, but I still watched the game. And I mean, every time you looked up, it was Luke Kornet got another block or Luke Kornet got another rebound. He shot 7 of 7, 12 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. The way he's able to impact the game on both ends of the floor is super impressive. I said it a million times in the last few weeks. I think he's quickly becoming the most underrated player on this team. Just the way he protects the rim, the way he fights for he uses his height, even though he's not the most athletic guy, to the most the highest advantage he can possibly take it. He bats every rebound back to open Celtics on the perimeter. He gets his hands on everything on both ends of the court. Like he is just able to be a mountain down low whenever it is needed. And you look at some of these double big lineups so far this year, Porzingis and Luke together are a 119 offensive rating and 106 defensive rating. Luke and Al together are a 116 offensive rating, 100.8 defensive rating. Kornet and Keda, I can't imagine is too great, but they have an elite offense. The defense is just a little shaky, but it's still 140 offense and 115 defense. Like the double big lineups work, like objectively so. The double big lineups have been good this season. Horford and Porzingis hasn't been quite as good at 115 offensive rating, 111 defensive rating, but like Luke in a double big lineup works, and it's because he's so good at playing the dunker spot. He's so good at getting his hands on rebounds, and when he's with Horford and Porzingis, they can space the floor, which leaves a lot of space for Luke to work down there. And I don't know if I've seen. I don't know if the Celtics have a better short roll passer on the team than Luke Kornet, and that sounds weird to say that he's the best on the team at any skill, but like these Tatum little dump offs into the middle of the floor, and then Luke has like 4 options to pass to for open passes. He almost always makes the right read. So the double big lineups are great, and he's a big reason why.
The Luke thing we just not discovered, but everybody kind of had their eyes pried open to it when they were playing in Abu Dhabi back in October. And the first game against Denver, Luke is being put in that short roll and he's dotting guys up. And he's continued to do that throughout the season. It's made him a more effective fit with the Celtics. You mentioned how elite he is as a dunker spot guy. He's tremendous with his touch around the rim. He's a great finisher. He's almost like an unathletic but bigger version of Robert Williams, where you can kind of get it to him and just kind of use him as a safety valve, knowing he's probably going to put the ball in the basket if he's within 5 feet. That's great. You can't say the same about all the centers in the league. You can't say about all the centers on this team like Nemi. Nemi misses a lot of shots you feel like he should make around the rim. He's kind of improving. He had a good night in New York, but there may not be a better third string big guy in the NBA than Luke Kornet, because he probably isn't a third string guy. He's probably second, or probably could start on a playoff team. Like, he started yesterday, put up good numbers. You don't think, I mean, when he's given an opportunity to play more minutes, he usually does well. And you can point that out and be like, well, he's playing in an elite system, which is very true. You can't take that away from him. And Tatum is absolutely making him better. That's what Tatum has started to do. A lot of these guys benefit from playing with him, but he doesn't need the ball a lot. He can just do what he's asked, and he's elite at that.
I don't get me wrong. I love Luke Kornet. I think we have a little bit of Celtics blindness because the Celtics have constructed one of the best rosters we've seen in the last decade. And so plugging any guy into that role probably means they're going to be good. Right. And again, this is not me saying Luke Kornet's bad, but like, I don't think if you plop him on, a random team fighting for the 6th seed that he's going to look quite as incredible as he does right now. Do I think he deserves more money than he makes? Absolutely. I think he's probably like an MLE guy. I think a team could have him in, slot him in as a high level backup behind one of these guys, like throw him in as the backup to Isaiah Hartenstein in OKC. And I think he does a damn good job. Throw him in as a backup and like, to Vicha Zubac in on the Clippers. And I think he can fill that role. But like, I do think there's a reason Luke Kornet looks so good. And like, think about what we talk about all the time. Like, he used to be a 3-point shooter, and they've defined his game so perfectly that he can do very specific things at a very high level. And on this team, which again, like, this is not saying Luke Kornet's bad. It's quite the opposite. He's able to focus on those things so directly and not worry about anything else that it's so easy for him to be such an impactful player. Like, there was a play, I forget when in this game, but he had like an open 3 he could have taken, and he just waited, had a dribble handoff with Jaylen Brown, and then made stuff happen from there. Like, they're very specific things that Luke Kornet does well that make it so he can be as highly impactful as he is. And I think the double big lineups, like Joe Mazzulla talked about, it adds like some protection around the rim. It adds a defensive presence. I've always been a fan. I think they've looked pretty good. I know some people haven't loved the double big lineups. I think it works really well with Luke Kornet. I think it should work well with Horford and Porzingis, but it hasn't quite yet. So maybe you stray away from those a little bit. But Luke's been so good this season, man. He's probably going to get paid this summer. Then again, we said that last year too. So who knows what's going to happen? But I've been thrilled with Luke Kornet. Nemish Keita looked all right too yesterday. There were a couple moments where you saw some of the defense being like, okay, well, the Knicks are targeting him, and obviously the shots around the rim, but he was good, did his job next to Kornet, played his role well. We talked about Luke Kornet being vanilla ice cream at the start of the year. He might be cooking. He's throwing some sprinkles on there, man. He's been so good. Like, this is way more than just the vanilla soft serve that I think we all expected. I'm very excited. That he looks as good as he did. I think he's going to be a lot more impactful in the playoffs than he was last year too. Like, I think you're going to see real Luke Kornet minutes in the playoffs because he's earned them, and he was hurt last year, so he couldn't really play them. So I'm thrilled that Luke Kornet is playing this well, and I'm sure Bobby Manning is too.
Big win for Bobby yesterday. I love when Bobby gets a nice win. He deserves it. He's been in on Luke for as long as I can remember. It rocks. He was thrilled to see that Doris Burke gave Luke the flowers on the national broadcast. Jake and I talked about this on late night last night about Luke and, whether or not he comes back to the Celtics this summer. And it really does feel like an enigma, because you said it felt like last year he could have just went and played somewhere else and taken the $8 million deal that was reported that he could have had. But he just kind of said, like, yeah, I like playing for the Celtics. Does that do enough to bring him back again? Does the potential opportunity to have more run if Horford retires bring him back? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I would love to have him back, though. He seems like he could be I stand by it. Like, I think if shit hit the fan and he had to start for this Celtics team,
Yes,
do
I
not
agree with
think
that.
it would like hinder them. Like it wouldn't make them.
I
They
agree.
would not be like as versatile as if like Porzingis is there, but they're still like a threat. It's not like it's not like Giannis went down for Milwaukee and all of a sudden you're like,
Yes.
no one cares. Like, no, he's ready.
Yeah, no. For this Celtics team, I think he could start, and they would still be a top seed, home court advantage in the Eastern Conference. Like, and there are teams around the league where he could probably fill a similar role. Like, you put him on that Thunder team, I think they're damn good. You put him on this Cavs team, I think they're damn good. Like, he has to have the talent around him, and he does here. So, shout out Luke Kornet. Shout out the double big lineups. Looked really good against New York. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think of Luke. Tell us what you think of the double bigs. Tell us what you think of Celtics beating the brakes off the Knicks. It was lovely to watch. You can also hit the bell and subscribe because we're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. Other videos like this one are up in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can also find Jack and I streaming here pregame live for a half hour before every single game. So come hang out. It's a ton of fun. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and recaps are up there for you. So if you just give us a follow, those go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. It does help us reach more people. Also tell your friends. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading all your emails. We'll be reading them tomorrow or today as you hear this. So get them in. Tell us what you think, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jackson NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Check.